What is good, YouTube? I'm gonna be basically doing like a reaction video tonight to like some scary stuff. I'm basically reacting to like the top 10 horror movies that's coming out this year, and it is currently beyond midnight. I don't know if I can see the camera will focus. Up, it is now 4:49. But word, needless to say it. Like, let's just get into it.
Raid is a free-to-play action RPG for both PC and mobile. There are over 500 badass champions to collect and battle through dungeons and PvP. In the most recent update, they actually put me in the game. That's right,
From sequels to original works, and from ghosts to some of the most famous horror movie monsters we have ever seen. 2021 is set to be an amazing year for horror movies. On today's top 10 list, I'll be covering some of the most anticipated horror movies set to see the silver screen in 2021. Starting off this list in our number 10 spot, we have Candyman. This is a sequel to the original movie from 1992 and is going to be picked up in real time, which means that it will take place decades after the original in our world and time. This film is directed by Nia DaCosta and is written by the incomparable Jordan Peele, so we know it's going to be good. The movie follows Anthony McCoy, who will be played by Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, and his obsession with the Cabrini Green site from the first movie. The trailer looks super creepy and has tons of callbacks to the original film to pay homage to classic horror film lovers. It is rumored that maybe Anthony is being possessed by the Candyman instead of haunted or hunted like in the original, but we'll have to wait and see for sure. The movie is set to be released in August, and I personally cannot wait. In our number 9 spot today, we have A Quiet Place 2. But before I dive into this one, please don't forget to hit that thumbs up button if you're enjoying the video so far. This movie is a sequel to its first film, which came out in 2018. The film follows the same family as the first, as they have to leave their farmhouse oasis to face a growing number of monsters in their post-apocalyptic world. There haven't been a ton of details released about the film, but it will feature the same cast, which is great news because they absolutely killed the first one. If you haven't seen the original, you should definitely check it out because it was one of the best horror movies of the year. The release date is currently set for sometime in April, and hopefully things go smoothly so that we don't have to see any pushbacks on the release date. In our number 8 spot, we have Spiral from the Book of Saw. I'm gonna be honest, I thought that we were done with Saw movies after the 8th, but that is just simply not the case. 2021 is going to see the release of another Saw movie called Spiral, but it's going to be a little bit different from the mass amounts of gore that we are used to. It is part of the Saw franchise, but isn't exactly a sequel, which is why it will be the first film with an alternate title. Spiral is going to star Chris Rock as a detective named Ezekiel Banks, who is said to be the detective investigating the crimes from the other movies. Chris Rock was actually part of the writing process and helped come up with the ideas for the story, so we know it's going to be good. Saw has always had an interesting concept, but sometimes it was just a little too gory for people, so I'm extremely excited to see how the Saw universe fits into a slightly different genre. The movie is set to be released sometime in May. In our number 7 spot, we have The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. This is the third Conjuring movie, and it is set to be released in June of 2021. The first Conjuring movie was released in 2013 and absolutely terrified audiences, so this third installment should be no different. We will see Vera Farmiga and Patrick Wilson reprise their roles as paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren, and the movie will follow the real-life 1981 trial of Arne Cheyenne Johnson. This trial was the first time in American history that demonic possession was used as a reason for a not guilty defense, which is incredibly interesting. I'm sure this movie is going to bring a great mix of the drama with its courtroom scenes, but will be sure to give us the jump scares and nightmares that we all know the Conjuring movies for. This movie might be released on demand at the same time it comes out in theaters, but we'll have to wait and see for sure. In our number 6 spot today, we have Morbius. Morbius is going to be a horror movie featuring a superhero, which is unbelievably exciting for fans of superhero movies and horror movies alike. The movie is going to follow Jared Leto Soho as Michael Morbius, who is a scientist with a rare blood disease. He tries to find a cure but accidentally turns himself into a vampire. This isn't a Twilight-style sparkly vampire, but he has a bloodlust and super strength. Morbius is a part of Sony's Spider-Verse, but at the end of the teaser we do see Michael Keaton, whose character remains unnamed to the public, but there are rumors of him being in the movie as Vulture, which is from the MCU, so who knows what might happen? The movie is set to be released in March of next year and is highly anticipated. In our number 5 spot and our halfway mark today, we have Last Night in Soho. Last Night in Soho is a psychological horror movie set to see the big screen next year. The film is co-written and directed by Edgar Wright, who is...
If I gave you $25,000 today,
Okay,
what would you do? Pay 2 years off your mortgage, escape the rat race for a while, buy
brought us movies like Shaun of the Dead and Baby Driver. He's delving into this new genre, and it is sure to be an interesting one. The movie is set to follow a fashion designer who finds herself traveling back in time to the 60s in search of someone who turns out to be nothing like what she expected. Considering the fact that there are a lot of sequels set to come out in 2021, it will be very exciting to see a newer work with a story that we are unfamiliar with. If you are a lover of vintage fashion, this might be the horror movie for you, because boy does the costuming look incredible. The movie is said to be drawing inspiration from absolute classics like Repulsion and Don't Look Now, so it definitely will be one to watch.
Like
in our number 4 spot
old
today
school
we
type
have
thing,
Don't Breathe 2. Don't Breathe 2 is the sequel to the 2016 movie, which is super creepy. This sequel has been in the works ever since the first one was finished, so we definitely know a lot of work and passion has gone into it. The first movie followed Norman Nordstrom, who is a blind veteran, and his fight for survival after 3 robbers break into his home and try to steal from him. This sequel is set to follow Norman as he has moved into a secluded cabin and now has a sort of adopted daughter that he cares for. Apparently things heat up when people show up and try and take the daughter back to wherever she comes from, and Norman will have to fight for both of their survival. This movie will be sure to deliver the horror and action that we saw in the first, and is set to be released in August. In our number 3 spot today we have The Forever Purge. The Forever Purge is the 5th and potentially the final film in the Purge franchise. If you haven't seen any of the other movies, it is set in an American world where once a year all crime, including the worst of the worst, is legal for a 12-hour period. The films are super creepy and very exciting, but also have a heavy social commentary about the world that we live in. The upcoming movie is rumored to potentially see an ending to this fictional legislature, but the title of the movie possibly suggests the opposite, so we'll all just have to wait and see. There hasn't been a ton of details released about this movie yet, so little is known about the plotline. The movie was supposed to be released in 2020, but because of obvious reasons, it ended up being pushed back for a July 2021 release date. Hopefully the movie doesn't have to be pushed back even further, because it sure is exciting. In our number 2 spot today we have Run, Sweetheart, Run. Run, Sweetheart, Run is based on a true story which everyone knows are the scariest kinds of movies. It will follow a single mother named Sherry, who is played by Ella Balinska, as she begins to get back into the dating scene. Her boss sets her up on a blind date with a man named Ethan, but unfortunately the date quickly turns horrific. Sherry's barefoot trying to navigate through the Hollywood Hills trying to escape this real-life monster. The movie is directed by Shanna Fest, who was inspired by Jordan Peele's Get Out. This movie seems like it's going to be exceptionally powerful and absolutely nightmare-inducing, but I cannot wait to check it out. The movie actually premiered at the Sundance Film Festival and received rave reviews. The movie was supposed to be released in 2020, but unfortunately had to be postponed due to the pandemic. The movie doesn't currently have a firm release date, but it is said to be coming out on Amazon Prime early 2021. In our number 1 spot today we have Halloween Kills. Michael Myers is back in the 2021 movie Halloween Kills. We've seen a ton of Halloween movies, but this one comes from director David Gordon Green. David was also the director for the 2018 Halloween movie, which was a direct sequel to the original 1978 movie. Halloween took place 40
Play War Thunder now. Join millions of players across the globe in massive battles on tanks, aircraft, and helicopters in the most extensive vehicle combat game ever made. Take control of
years later, and Halloween Kills will follow suit. Jamie Lee Curtis will be reprising her role of Laurie Strode in her fight to take down Michael Myers. This is super exciting for fans of classic horror movies because we will all finally be getting to see more of the story that we all know and love so much. And in even better news, there will be another movie set to release in 2022 called Halloween Ends. It is honestly a great feeling when you see a good movie and know that there will be more to come. I'm definitely super excited to see where Halloween Kills will take us in preparation for the next movie. Halloween Kills is set to be released in October of 2021, and while I wish I didn't have to wait so long, it just wouldn't be right to see this movie released any other time. Alright guys, that has been our list for today. Thank you so much for checking it out. Let me know in the comments which one of these videos you are most excited to see, and I will see you.
Alright, so y'all comment like what y'all like most likely excited to look forward to, and like what do y'all want to see in this year. Me personally, I'm looking forward to Conjuring 3. You already know Conjuring is like one of the best series, along with The Purge too. The Purge is like my second favorite that I'm looking forward to, but Conjuring, I cannot wait to see that shit. Like, on God, I'm gonna be posting like almost every day now, so y'all stay tuned to the channel, and peace.